Eddie, you are staying or going?
No, staying, mate. Always been committed to Australian rugby. I want to leave it in a better place, and that's still the job, mate.
Long term?
Well, I'm committed to make it a better place.
What does that mean?
Committed to 2027?
Well, it's not absolutely my decision, is it? Yeah, we've got a review going forward, and we'll see what happens at the end of the review.
And you have been quoted recently in the past saying with the World Cup it could be all over.
Well, again, that's not my decision, is it?
Are you worried you're going to get sacked? Is that what you're saying?
No, not worried. I don't control those sort of things. All I can do is coach. I went to the World Cup, came in a short period of time, had to make a decision on the team, made a decision we needed to go with youth, and whilst the results of the World Cup weren't the results we wanted, I think I've left the Australian team in a great position to go on to 2027. And, that judgment will be decided by the 2027 World Cup.
Eddie, you've denied that you've spoken to the Japanese rugby union. Have you spoken to any third parties about this position?
Third parties, what does that mean, mate?
Recruitment agencies, for example, executive search parties. Have you spoken to anybody like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Eddie, there are a number of separate news organisations who have cited separate sources in a couple of occasions, a number of different sources to say that you were either speaking to the Japanese Rugby Union or representatives of the Japanese Rugby Union. Can you explain whether those reports were all inaccurate? Have you been talking to anybody?
Haven't been speaking to anyone, mate.
So
I said that before.
No corporations or anybody like
That's
that?
correct.
Why do you think that those theories have come out of the blue then?
I've got no idea, mate.
Have you spoken to the Japanese president? He's an old friend of yours.
Not for a long time.
There were reports that you guys had private discussions about this.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Got no idea, mate.
I guess Eddie, the easy thing for you to say would be I'm here from now up until the World Cup. No doubt about it.
Oh, well, that's the intention, mate. But as you know, we play in a game where the coach doesn't decide how long they stay.
Have you got support from Rugby Australia?
I believe so. But, we've got to do a review. And obviously the results were disappointing. Everyone's gutted by it, especially myself. But I stand by the decisions we've made, and I think we've left Australian rugby in a better position.
Eddie, do you have any break clauses in your contract that, for whatever reason, could see you leave early?
Well, that's not really for you to discuss, mate. Is it? That's a private discussion between Rugby Australia and myself, which I'd be breaking confidentiality if I said that. Is that all right?
Eddie, can you reflect on the World Cup and the performance of the team and your own performance? How do you rate it?
Yeah, look, as I said, I came into the Wallabies, short preparation time. I had to make a quick decision on what we do. I had a look at the resources we had, the players we had. I made a decision we've got to go with youth. That's the best option for Australia going forward. I made that decision and the results of the World Cup weren't how we hoped, but I still think I've made the right decision there.
Eddie, your last comment before you left was to tell the collective media to give themselves an uppercut. How do you reflect on those comments?
Probably need to give myself an uppercut, don't I? Well, again, mate, I didn't like the way that media conference was portrayed, and I'm allowed to say that. Probably wasn't the wisest thing to say, but sometimes you say things in the heat of the moment that you regret, mate. Yeah, look, we feel they're hurt. We feel all the supporters hurt, and we really appreciate the great support we had in France and back in Australia for the team, and we feel they're hurt. But as I said, sometimes the change you have to have is uncomfortable and it is quite difficult. And sometimes you have to go through this to get into a better state. And I believe the problems we've had, particularly at the national team, and will put us in a better state going forward.